There's another interesting comment here. Ablo Fluido says, "Man, I'm so glad I found your channel. I learned Spanish 15 years ago to intermediate level using mnemonics, and then just reading and listening to native content to get to advanced. See, this is the right way to do it, or a very effective way to do it. You use associations, mnemonic associations, as the glue that will make the words stick in the beginning, and then by reading and listening, you review those words and you keep improving instead of trying to learn from the beginning by reading and listening. If you learn all the keywords first and you memorize them, reading and listening is going to be much easier from the beginning. So yeah, this guy did it right for Spanish. I'm curious why he learned the mnemonics 15 years ago. I mean, I know I'm not the only one using them. I learned them from a Spanish guy, a memory champion, who's well, it's a memorization machine. But I know a lot more people use them. But for the most part, they're not very popular in language learning. I don't know why. Um, okay, he continues, and then I learned Italian and German using comprehensible input only, and somehow convinced myself that mnemonics weren't actually useful and only input mattered. You see, kind of something similar happened to me when I first discovered mnemonics and I started using them. I learned lots of vocab for German. I had just started learning German and I memorized lists, all the common verbs, all the common adjectives, things like that, lots of them. And then I started watching Steve Kaufman videos and things like that. It was like 5 years ago. And for some reason, I think I wasn't confident enough to realize that what I was doing was actually okay. Obviously, you need input as well. You need to listen to the language, right? And reading doesn't hurt. But I think I watched all those guys. Luca Lamparello was another, although he's got a more varied method than just simple. But I started watching those videos and I was like, oh, these people must know better than me. And then I completely stopped using mnemonics when I could have learned much faster by using way more because in the beginning I was and I struggled with Russian a lot as well because I started learning Russian at the same time in uni when I was learning German. I met a girl that was Russian speaking. Well, it's a long story, but um, I memorized a few hundred words super fast, and then I just stopped doing it because yeah, I fell for the input stuff. And okay, yeah, input helps, but it's way slower. And especially in the beginning, if you and throughout the whole process, input if you use mnemonics to reinforce the input, you make input way more effective. So yeah, I think input's not bad, obviously, but it's just a tool, and it should be combined with other tools. And when it comes to vocabulary, mnemonics is king. Um, okay, he continues. But I've wasted the last 2 months trying to learn Polish using just link mini stories. Yeah, I've been there, done that, and made almost zero progress. Um, you could go through the mini stories and memorize the vocab first using mnemonics and then listen to them. Although there are better ways to do it, in my opinion. I stopped using the mini stories completely because it's just kind of dumb and childish and not very useful. If I can only use, if I can use language islands and learn only sentences that are relevant, it's much better use of my time and also they're much more memorable because they're relevant. I'll actually use them in conversation and they're also easier to remember. So it's much more easy, way easier to remember vocab and grammar structures, and also just more useful to learn. Um, okay, found your channel a couple of days ago and have memorized 100 words plus in the last 2 days. Yeah, that's good. Like, imagine if you could do that daily, uh, as well as creating a few language islands. Yeah, couple 100 plus words in the last 2 days. That's how much is that? 1,500 words a month. That and some listening, and your comprehension really improves really fast. And language islands if you want to improve your speaking. Basically, I've made more progress in the past 2 days than I have in 2 months, and I know how to keep the progress going. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks for the comment. Glad to hear that it's working. I'm seeing more and more of these comments. Well, the channel's growing, right? But I'm seeing more and more of these comments of people who have watched the videos, have started implementing the techniques and what I explain here, and it works for them, and it really makes me happy. Because yeah, I like seeing people actually trying and getting results. This actually makes me happy. I hope I see more comments by this guy.